Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Flip Thought Show. It's your host, the most King True, Public Verb, and Vote, and want the word, and want the flow. And we coming at you live at 12:09, man. And we got some content for you one time, man. This right here is going to be actor fazion / bigWorm in trouble after a gas station altercation. It's actually a hotel altercation. So I was misinformed. I'm going to edit that. But basically what happened was allegedly fazion got into it with the woman at a hotel, and she's reporting in the statement that he allegedly assaulted her and cut up her credit card in front of her. They threw it back to her. So he's facing up to 7 years in prison right now. And where it went down at was in the video, man. Because if y'all didn't know, man, fazion is from Dago, man. Fazion is from the southeast, particularly where the Roswell section, where the animals be, and he's from the Roswell Memory Lane area, 5-7 area. He's a townster. He's from that uptown. He's from the top of the hill. And he does let that be known in a couple of interviews. He's just not somebody just to really be big boasted about it. But yeah, he is for the Diddy. So yeah, man, he got himself into some trouble. Altercation with a woman at a hotel. She's alleging that he assaulted her, and basically they're talking about he might be facing up to 7 years in prison for assault. So man, it's crazy, man. If y'all remember, probably about 8 years ago, he had an altercation at the airport with a woman where she stated that he assaulted her as well. So this just doesn't look too good on him, man, for sure. We're gonna get right into the content though. Before we do, appreciate everybody liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notification bell so I know y'all there, so I can throw 2 minutes in the air. And let's get into the content. Content is brought to us today by True Life Stories. Go over there to True Life Stories. Give them a like, give them a comment, give them a sub. Let them know that you give them some love. Show them some love. Check out his page. Got a lot of content. Let's check it out.
San Diego judge greenlights criminal trial against bigWorm. You feel me? What's up with it, y'all? We back with another one. San Diego judge greenlights criminal trial against Friday actor bigWorm, fazion, and I guess he did a couple of things, and he kind of got away with it for a while, but I guess they gonna go and turn up the fire on him and file charges against him. So let's get into the video, without further ado.
A San Diego County judge ruled today that there is enough evidence to move forward with a criminal trial for a well-known comedic actor. Fazion is charged with felony assault.
Look at bigWorm sitting there. He got big now. He got bigger than what he was, but this is messed up that he's in these terrible times of this happening. But let's find out what happening.
Assault. The actor is accused of ripping a credit card reader off a hotel lobby check-in desk last August and throwing it at a clerk. That woman says she suffered a concussion. Prosecutors say Love was...
Okay, so it wasn't a credit card that he ripped up. It was a credit card reader that he threw at the clerk's head. And she's filing for an assault.
Angry after a booking he made through a third-party app could not be honored. The hotel clerk does not want to be identified, but she just...
blood. Come on, blood. Come on, 5-7 blood, town blood. Tell me you didn't go up in there tripping over a booking because the promotion code wasn't going through. You grabbed the whole whoopie, the bank and the card reader and checked that baby's head. That's crazy, bro. You're a whole celebrity, blood. You know you can't be doing no shit like that. Everybody knows who you are, man. Come on, bro. That's just bad moves, bro. Bad thinking.
Described the incident on the witness stand today during the preliminary hearing.
Wow.
Mr. Love again was just going off on repeatedly cussing them out. Everything was every other word was a cuss word, and it was getting louder. I then proceeded to say, okay, that's enough. And Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it at my direction.
Love's defense attorney.
But did the credit card machine hit you though? But did the card reader hit you though? because if it didn't hit you, technically that's not assault. He threw it towards you, but did it hit you though? Was there impact? Did it actually touch your cranium?
He says that the clerk told police the night of the incident that Love threw the credit card reader between her and another coworker, not directly at the woman.
Between, okay, so you can see, look, there goes the manager, there goes the clerk right there, and it's thrown between, in the middle between the two of them.
Love pleaded not guilty to the charges. A trial date has now been set for January.
Now look, now think about this though, right? This is the crazy thing about that whole situation. She said, because at first they basically said that she suffered a concussion.
Yeah. At the beginning, they said that she suffered head injuries such as a concussion.
That's what it was saying. So this kind of lets you know, like when you a prominent figure, an actor, a comedian, a rapper, a singer, it doesn't matter. If you do something like this, people are going to go after you because they want money. Okay, it's not even about what you did, because if he threw it in between y'all, how could you have got a concussion? So basically, there's something more going on to the story, because if he didn't hit you or none of that, then how they gonna press criminal charges against him? Okay, yeah, you can destroy property, that is different, but that's not her property. That's the property of the hotel. Right. So the hotel will have to actually press charges. Like, this is crazy, bro. But all I'm saying is, if you are a prominent figure, you got to watch what you do, because people are going to try to come after you for little things, for things that if somebody else did, they wouldn't even do nothing. Like if this would have been like me, somebody, I'm not saying I'm a nobody, but I'm a nobody. I don't have fazion money. If this would have been me, she wouldn't have been sitting on the stand doing anything. They would just let it go. They would have barred me from the hotel, and they would have been like, never come back. But
they would have just put probably a picture of him on the wall saying, "Hey, don't let this man come here and book rooms here anymore. He's banned from the hotel." It wouldn't be a whole case. And that's what I mean by, like, bro, you shouldn't be doing no dumb shit like that, man. You're a whole A-list celebrity, bro. Like, people know who you are. They're going to make it a lot harder for you just because of who you are, bro.
But they're pursuing charges because once they recognized and they knew who he was, oh yeah, I'm coming at you. Now I can get paid. You feel me? My job is not paying me enough, so therefore I can get.
They're looking for that settlement money. They said, "Oh, Faze on love, Oh yeah, he's got some money. He can pay. He can pay. We gonna renovate the hotel. We gonna add something to the hotel. We gonna add some new shit. We gonna do something to the pool. We gonna get some money from this.
Some money out of you for what you did." Which is crazy, bro. That's just wild. But watch what I say. Now I guarantee you that lady is going to file a lawsuit against him. If not the other one that she said they split up and it went between them. But they would say she suffered a concussion. Understand how come they didn't play that and say that or anything like that? They didn't show that because it probably didn't happen. But I'm just saying, if you're a prominent actor, if you're a prominent person, if you're out there in society right now, be careful. Don't let your anger get the best of you. Because if you do, and you do it around people and somebody gets hurt, they're coming after you. They're going to make you look like a bad person. They're going to do all these things, which I'm still going like, okay, we get mad about stuff. Like, if we get the wrong food at a restaurant, if our bill is higher than what it's supposed to be, if they don't go by the proceedings that we went through an app that said that book the hotel, and you're going to tell me you're not going to go by this, but yet you letting me book the hotel through the app. Hold on, there is something wrong. So there's something more to the story, but still though, him being fazion love and having the money that he does, he should just went on and paid for it and dealt with it later. Let one of his lawyers or whoever handle it and go back and try to get that little money back. But to go this far, bro, you tripping. Come on now, you know better. You know what they gonna, you know that they gonna make you an example. That's just how it is. But on that note, let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you like the video, hit the like button. And on that note, I'm out of here.
This is Democracy Now!
I don't know what to say, my bad. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. Let's see.
Losing to.
Yeah, man, definitely crazy situation for fazion, man. Like I said, bro, but he should know better, man, because everybody knows who he is. So of course they're gonna make it hard for him. They see it as a cash cow. They see it as they're gonna get a settlement from it. Even if it didn't hit her in the head, they still gonna put it out there that she got a concussion, whatever it may be. But they're gonna make it hard for him just because of who he is, the A-list celebrity. Everybody knows who he is. So he should have moved a lot smarter, man. And being from the town, bro, you should know the town. They fucking hate celebrities, especially when they're known that they came up in the town, bro. So yeah, that's come on, man. Feel me? But yeah, we're gonna get right into the next video with it. Fazion Love responds to facing 7 years in prison after a hotel attack. Ice Cube, get me.
The last week's leftovers. Can't escape the doom.
Reporting live from Roberts Club in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba. Well, Fazion Love has a subliminal message for those that have been paying attention to his now civil lawsuit. According to local San Diego news, prosecutors have charged Love with felony assault with a deadly weapon. The charge has been enhanced due to bodily injury of the alleged victim. Love has since responded not guilty. That same source also reports the alleged victim took to the stand earlier this week to testify that Love became irate after he was told the hotel had no vacancy, even though he used a third-party hotel booking app. She and her co-workers could not calm him down. Now, in response, Love has taken to Instagram to share a video of himself as a San Diego County Sheriff bus passes by. Love would directly ask for help from DJ Pooh and Ice Cube, who of course were the writers of the original Friday film. To them, he would say,
"It's got the phone call. The spot's getting hot, so I done pumped in my DJ Pooh, Q, come get me."
Now, his Instagram caption would read, "Come get bigWorm out." Of course, this is in reference to Love's character, bigWorm, from the Friday film, alluding to the recent news of a judge deciding there was enough evidence to move a felony case forward in court. Love has also been accused of throwing a credit card. Love has been accused of throwing a credit card reader at the hotel clerk, which hit her on the side of her head. The judge's decision to move forward comes after nearly a full day of.
But that's bullshit though, because it didn't hit her on the side of the head. It literally was thrown in between her and another worker. It never even touched her body. So that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, of course, they're gonna add some shit to it. They're gonna add some spices to it. They're gonna put some sweeter sugar on there. They're gonna add some sugar to it. You know what I'm saying? Make it more flavorful to be believable. But
testimony during a preliminary hearing. In the original report about his lawsuit, it would read, "Mr. Love was extremely upset. It was 0 to 100 real quick. He was repeatedly asking if we knew who he was. I then proceeded to say that was not enough. Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it in my direction." Now, she would go on to explain she went to the hospital a couple hours after and claimed she suffered a concussion, as well as lingering health problems, including a sensitivity to light. Now, after hearing this, Love's attorney, Mark Kligman, would point out the differences between her testimony and what she told 911 operators and responding police officers last August when the incident took place, which was the severity of her injuries. His claim is his defendant, Love, threw the credit card reader in between two co-workers, not directly at the woman. In addition, the two co-workers who attempted to defuse the situation along with the alleged victim stated they witnessed the attack. Here, Kligman would play back and reference body camera footage from the officers who responded that night to find out if both co-workers actually saw the card reader hit the woman or only heard the sound of it hitting the wall. One of them would admit they actually didn't see her get hit. What should give the court pause is in the insufficiency of the evidence and credibility of the witnesses. I think there's quite a bit of motivation for her to make this up, to exaggerate. Now, NBC7 San Diego would also report Kligman insinuating the alleged victim could be motivated by more than justice, as she filed a civil lawsuit against Love, seeking money for her medical bills, in addition to the physical and emotional pain suffered. As she filed a civil lawsuit against Love, seeking money, unfortunately for Love, as a result of all the evidence, the judge has now decided there is enough for probable cause and set the court trial date for January 2026. Love faces up to 7 years in prison if convicted. So what do you guys think about this new upcoming trial for Fazion Love? And what's your thoughts about his reaction? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Plus, stay up to date for the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. And if you enjoy content like this, check out hypersclub.com right now to get a membership to watch full interviews and more original content. And if you have a story you think we should cover,
The Guesty Channel Manager makes it easy to list on several booking sites at once.
Underground, out the job. We build this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yeah, we got.
Man, they don't got bigWorm with the perm, man. Lord have mercy, man. Y'all press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe as everybody tap on in, man. They don't win and got bigWorm with the perm, man. Actor Fazion Love, man. They don't win and snatched them up, man. And they saying that the judge just said that he will face trial, man. This dude is in a heap of trouble. Now, y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the video. I have a lot of explosive news for y'all tonight. Y'all do not want to miss this news I got for y'all tonight. Make sure y'all get the album, A Weapons Midlife Music album, is in the description box below this video. Also, you can get to see all the links, Cash App, PayPal, podcast show, free membership to the website, and you can get the links also to get the weight loss formula. I have a lot of news for y'all tonight, man. A lot of news, but we got to start with this first, y'all. Lord have mercy, man. Unbelievable stuff, man. So let me let y'all know what's going on, and I'm gonna let y'all know what just happened with Fazion Love, bigWorm with the perm, the actor. So Fazion Love, who we all know is an actor, a comedian who's known for his roles in films like Friday and Elf, is currently facing legal issues stemming from an alleged assault at a San Diego hotel back in August of 2024. Now, according to the reports, actor Fazion Love became aggressive after being informed that the Sheraton Mission Valley Hotel had no vacancy. Now, despite his booking through a third-party application, prosecutors claim that bigWorm with the perm, Fazion Love, they claim that he ripped a credit card reader off of his mount, threw it at a female receptionist, Elizabeth Renderos, striking her in the head, breaking her glasses, and causing her have a concussion. He faces a felony charge of assault with a deadly weapon with an enhancement due to the alleged victim's injuries, which could lead up to 7 years in prison if he's convicted. Fazion Love pleaded not guilty back in March of 2025, and a San Diego judge has now ruled that there is sufficient evidence for this trial against actor Fazion Love to proceed. And it's going to be scheduled to start in January of 2026. Now, the alleged victim has also filed a civil lawsuit against actor Fazion Love, seeking damages for medical bills, emotional distress, and physical pain. Now, Fazion Love's defense attorney, Mark a 180-day suspended jail sentence, and a civil lawsuit settlement of $40,000 plus legal fees. In 2011, he was arrested in Seattle for 4th-degree domestic violence while on probation for a 2009 assault charge in West Hollywood. And additionally, in 2018, Fazion Love faced a sexual harassment lawsuit from a former assistant alleging inappropriate conduct, though he did not comment publicly on those claims, right? Now, those issues back from 2017, it was an assault, again, alleged incident at the John Glenn Columbus International Airport, Ohio. On March 7, 2017, Love attacked, allegedly, a valet named Ronald Montgomery after a dispute. Now, according to the reports, the altercation began when Montgomery asked Fazion Love to move from a restricted area near the airport's baggage claim. Now, Love reportedly became aggressive, grabbing Montgomery by the neck, throwing him to the ground, and slamming his head against the floor multiple times. The incident was captured on surveillance footage, which showed Fazion Love pinning Montgomery down before walking away. Fazion Love was arrested and charged with a misdemeanor assault. He initially pleaded not guilty, but later entered a no contest plea back in October 2017. As a part of a plea deal, he was ordered to pay a $500 fine, serve 180 days of probation, and complete anger management course. The court also imposed a suspended 180-day jail sentence, meaning he would not serve time unless he violated probation terms. Additionally, Montgomery filed a civil lawsuit against Fazion Love, which was settled back in 2018 for $40,000 plus legal fees. Now, also,
we was about to resubscribe to, but why?
That was 2 clicks.
oh!
Yes, come on.
Chris, turn that co-producer on.
This plugin is especially sick because, like, as soon as you put something in, it's a limitless amount of potential ideas.
It's definitely.
Fazion Love, according to these reports, he also had sexual assault allegations against him. Now, those allegations, which, you know, was back in 2018, came from a personal assistant, Tashiana Luke. Now, Mrs. Luke filed a lawsuit against Fazion Love and his company, Doughboy Inc. Now, she claimed that he sent her a video of himself receiving oral sex with the message, "I shot a test scene. What do you think?" She alleged that Fazion Love, bigWorm with the perm, made unwanted sexual advances, including suggestive comments like, "Your ass looks nice in those pants," and implications of paying her college tuition in exchange for sexual favors. Luke quit after 17 days of employment from June 9th to June 26, 2016. The lawsuit accused Fazion Love of sexual harassment, but there are no reports of criminal charges related to those allegations. And the outcome of the civil case is not detailed in available sources. Additionally, Fazion Love has not been directly accused of sexual assault, but he stirred controversy in 2014 and 2015 by posting tweets defending Bill Cosby against sexual assault allegations. In these posts, he used derogatory language, including racial slurs, to dismiss Cosby's accusers, and comedian Hannibal Buress, who highlighted the allegations. Fazion Love's comments drew significant backlash, but were not tied to personal accusations of sexual assault against him. Now, also, this situation he has going on right now, that just happened right now, you guys, it made the news. So tonight, or excuse me, in the San Diego News, this is what they had to say about the situation with actor we all know, bigWorm with the perm, Fazion Love, you guys. Here we go. And let me go ahead and put this up here for you guys so y'all can pretty much see what's going on. Hold on one second, you guys. I want y'all to see what's going on. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this right. I want y'all to hear this right here so you guys can all pretty much see where we coming from with this. Let's go.
World today that there is enough evidence to move forward with a criminal trial for a well-known comedic actor. Fazion Love is charged with felony assault. The actor is accused of ripping a credit card reader off a hotel lobby check-in desk last August and throwing it at a clerk. That woman says she suffered a concussion. Prosecutors say Love was angry after a booking he made through a third-party app could not be honored. The hotel clerk does not want to be identified, but she described the incident on the witness stand today during the preliminary hearing.
Mr. Love again was just going off on repeatedly cussing them out. Every other word was a cuss word, and it was getting louder.
Okay, but did you get hit with the card reader, man? Did it hit your cranium? Did you get touched? How on earth did you have a concussion if when he chucked the card reader, it was thrown between you and another coworker and it hit the wall? Clearly in the body cam footage, you could see it hitting the wall and the sound of it hitting the wall. Even another worker had spoke out and said that he had never seen it touch her or hit her in the head. So yeah, come on, man. Make it make sense.
Proceeded to say, okay, that's enough. And Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it at my direction.
Love's defense attorney says that the clerk told police the night of the incident that Love threw the credit card reader between her and another coworker, not directly at the woman. Love pleaded not guilty to the charges. A trial date has now been set for January.
Now, so that is what's being reported on the news, man. The girl went to court, testified in this case, and this is an absolutely devastating situation. And I mean absolutely devastating situation for bigWorm. bigWorm is facing major time in prison for this situation, man. He's facing nearly a decade in prison for this situation. And this is just one of those things, man. When you look at this situation, man, and you say, man, bro, and they're saying the girl is saying that he hit her upside the head, I guess, with the credit card machine, ripped it out the wall, hit her upside the head. And now the judge has ruled that there is enough evidence. Let me repeat myself again. The judge has ruled that there is enough evidence that that trial will go forward. So he will face trial in this case. And his trial will start in January of 2026. And if he's found guilty, he can do 6 years or 7 years in prison. Excuse me, nearly a decade in prison if he is found guilty, you guys, of those charges, which it looks very bad right now. Very, very bad, you guys. Also, bigWorm, everybody already know bigWorm with the perm, man. Legendary actor, comedian in the community. He's kind of been low key for a little while, so nobody had really been on the radar with this. But you know what I'm saying, this has been going on. This has been something. He's had a couple of incidents that popped up that it's just sad because I like bigWorm, man. And when I saw him in the news for that, it kind of hurt me because I like bigWorm, man. But hopefully he didn't do that. He's saying that, look, the girl is lying.
Being clearly, yeah, okay, he did rip the card reader out the wall. That's bad behavior. You feel me? Like automatically that's out of pocket shit. But he never threw it directly at her head though. So yeah, he's telling the truth. Even another worker at the Marriott, Mission Valley Marriott, has stated that he had never seen the card reader hit her in the head. It hit the wall.
And that he didn't hit her with the credit card machine, that he threw it and the credit card machine went, I guess, between her and another person is what he was saying. Is what he was saying happened. So he's saying he didn't even hit her with the credit card machine, Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. What?
I finally got my claim for my car accident. They only offered me $5,000.
$5,000? I had a car accident and I got offered 52 grand.
What? I literally was injured. I had to go to the hospital, see specialists, doctors, constant treatment.
Did you use Case Connect's compensation calculator? Like they have an AI calculator. If you go through Case Connect's AI, the way it works is they put you in like a database that has all kinds of accidents and
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no freaking way, y'all. Oh my God. Ain't no way. Hold on, bro. Y'all smash the like button. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh my God. What? Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks, man. Everybody's gonna build. Y'all press one if y'all can hear me, man. Hold on, let me make sure everybody can hear me. Can y'all hear me in here? Oh, shucks, bro. Y'all press one if y'all can hear me in the building. I think y'all can hear me, man. Like the video, y'all. Share the video, man. I got some devastating news for a lot of y'all that have been oh my God. This is about to shake the entire internet, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, y'all. So look, this is what I'm gonna do, man. Everybody that's listening to this video right now, hold on. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Can y'all? Yeah, y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Yo, everybody that's listening to this video right now, I need y'all to do something, man. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna put something in the comments for all y'all. Everybody that's listening to this video, man, it's over, bro. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. Yo, I'm gonna put this link at the top of the chat room in the live chat. Y'all click that link I just put in the chat room right now. I'm going to this stream right now. Click, everybody that's listening to this video, click this link. You do not want to miss this video right here. It's over with, y'all. Salute everybody. I'm coming right back. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting.
All right, we're gonna go over to Choke No Joke. That's gonna be the last video for this fazion stuff. And then we on to the next one, man.
Want to lose 15 to 20% of your weight in a year? Try Rose Insurance Checker to see if you're covered.
First line of business I want to get into is this story. I'm sure y'all heard about it. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Now, I had touched on this story before.
Oh, okay. Here I come.
Now,
how much you said? 275.
y'all know my boy. You remember the police was looking for my guy. Y'all see me doing a few comedy shows with my man Fazion Love. Y'all know he had a warrant out for his arrest. And I brought y'all that story where he was at the hotel and I guess he booked a room through a third party app. And when he tried to go and check in, they wouldn't let him check in. So he got mad and ripped the credit card. The credit card reader off the thing and threw it at the girl and hit her with it allegedly. And you know, they had a warrant out for his arrest for that. You know me, I was cracking jokes on him because we are comedians. And I was saying that the nigga had to take a doodle and the girl because I travel with Fazion, so I know he like to go in the hotels instead of the when you're on the road instead of the restaurants. You know, he'll go to the hotels and use the bathroom. So I was cracking jokes on him saying he had to take a doodle and the girl was giving him a hard time and wouldn't give him a room. So he probably felt that log coming out his butt and got mad at her and hit her with the goddamn credit card reader. What you mean I can't check him? Girl, you gotta check me in. Oh. You know what I'm saying? But he finally turned himself in, and they tried to get the case dismissed. And here's the update.
A San Diego County judge ruled today that there is enough evidence to move forward with a criminal trial for a well-known comedic actor. Fazion Love is charged with felony assault. The actor is accused of ripping a credit card reader off a hotel lobby check-in desk last August and throwing it at a clerk. That woman says she suffered a concussion. Prosecutors say Love was angry after a booking he made through a third-party app could not be honored. The hotel clerk does not want to be identified, but she described the incident on the witness stand today during the preliminary hearing.
Mr. Love again was just going off on repeatedly cussing them out. Every other word was a cuss word, and it was getting louder. I then proceeded to say, okay, that's enough. And Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it at my direction.
Love's defense attorney says that the clerk told police the night of the incident that Love threw the credit card reader between her and another coworker, not directly at the woman. Love pleaded not guilty to the charges. A trial date has now been set for January.
This is what the perfect.
If you have ever wanted to land a 100 to 150K a year fully remote career in as little as the next 4 months, listen up carefully. And before you run away thinking this is too good to be true, it all comes down to skill acquisition, as with anything. In the workforce, you get paid for what you're able to do for a company and how valuable it is for them to have your skill set in their organization, and how hard it is for them to find that skill set. And one of the most high-paying yet achievable skills to learn today is the ability to run ads on social media platforms just like this for companies. Colleges just don't teach it. So companies cannot find talent who can actually do this, but they have to find it in order to survive in this digital age. Because right now, most of their advertising budget goes to outdated methods like cable, newspaper, and magazines. And when was the last time you used one of those, like newspapers and magazines? Yet you are probably on social media every day. So you can see the importance for them to make that digital transition and why they will pay so much to someone who can help them do so. So this isn't for everyone. I'm going to make that disclosure right now. You have to be willing to put in some work over the next 3 to 4 months to learn the skill, pass our certification, and participate in our internship program to get real experience with media buying. But at the end, we can directly connect you with opportunities to earn a remote high income. You will need to put in some time to learn this skill. So if you are unemployed or looking for a job right now, this probably isn't for you. We recommend keeping your job while you learn and until you land your new one. This isn't starting a business or anything risky like that, or going back to college and spending 4 years and getting a degree that will keep you in the same spot you're in now. It's about getting you a highly relevant skill set for today's workforce. So if you want to learn a skill that will follow you around for the rest of your life, that you can actually leverage to land yourself a 6-figure career, which may be able to directly connect you with, which we may be able to, click to learn more. We have a training that breaks down all the details for you on the next page at no cost. And if you qualify to work with us, we will train you, give you direct experience, and connect you directly with opportunities. Some of our students even stack these opportunities or leverage them in other ways to earn multiple six figures. And yes, we have case studies to back this up. On that next page, just click the button somewhere here on this screen to check those out, and I'll see you there.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? If so, you need to stop now and immediately call an experienced auto accident attorney. Look at this check for $237,000. This settlement and many others like it were payments our team of legal experts obtained for our clients. If you have not been in an auto accident, feel free to skip this video. We don't want to waste your time. But for those of you still watching, I'm going to share the best way for you to achieve the maximum settlement. The right attorney can help you get top compensation for your vehicle or property damage, medical bills, lost income, and pain and suffering. To obtain the most compensation for your car accident, we need to know if the accident was not your fault, if you were injured, and if the accident happened within the last 2 years. If this matches your circumstances and you have not spoken with an attorney, you need to call us now. Do not speak to insurance companies or the other party without legal guidance. Saying the wrong thing can absolutely destroy your case and reduce or even eliminate your settlement amount. Don't wait to contact us. The longer you wait, the less severe your case may appear. Eventually, the time to make a claim will vanish. You need to call us to get working on your case as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've seen too many car accident victims attempt to settle cases on their own without the help of an experienced attorney. With no threat of a lawsuit or litigation, insurance companies make lowball offers and pretend like it's the best they can do. Do not make this mistake. You need the help from experienced attorneys at Find Legal to navigate the complexities of insurance law on your behalf. Great, you're saying, but how much will a personal injury attorney cost? This is a good question and the one everyone asks. Experienced personal injury attorneys work on what's called a contingency basis, meaning there's no payment up front. Our attorneys only receive compensation when they win your case for you. There are zero out-of-pocket costs. Our legal teams work for free until your case is won. To make things even easier, you can contact us any day of the week, any time of day. Here's a recent example of a settlement we received for our client, Kevin. He was rear-ended by a semi-truck that was following too closely on his way to work. After the accident, Kevin, like many of our clients, didn't feel severe pain until several days later. He began to feel discomfort in his neck and lower back, as well as aches from the seatbelt and airbag deployment. He was unable to work, needed a new car, needed compensation for lost income, and a substantial amount set aside for future, potential lifelong treatment for his injuries. The opposing party's insurance pressured Kevin to accept a $10,000 offer, as that was his car's value. However, they made no offer to remedy his injuries or the future pain and suffering he would experience. The settlement we obtained for Kevin after he became a client, $450,000. We can help you put your life back together after an accident. Find Legal attorneys fight to get you the maximum compensation for your accident. Historical data has shown that auto accident victims that work with an attorney receive 3.5 times more in compensation than those without an attorney. A quick call with our legal intake team will get you talking with an attorney that specializes in auto accident cases. We're available 24/7, 365 days a year. Connect with us to have your legal questions answered and find out what your case is worth. When you've been in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you won't be suing the other person directly. You'll be going after their insurance company. The opposing party's insurance have their own legal teams whose sole purpose is to minimize the amount they will pay out for your accident. Without a legal professional working by your side, you'll be going up against legal insurance teams that have decades of experience settling cases for next to nothing. They'll try and make you doubt the merits of your own case and pressure you to accept the lowest compensation possible. They know they're going to have to pay something, but will employ tricks and games to minimize this amount. If you've received an offer from an insurance company to settle your accident claim, do not sign it before it's been reviewed by your own personal injury counsel. Once you accept an offer, you sign away your ability to make any future claims for compensation. A lot of times, victims walk away from car accidents thinking their injuries are not that severe. But after a few days, the pain slowly starts to build, eventually becoming unbearable. Many that hate doctor visits or don't have strong health insurance skip treatment altogether. Do not do this. Treatment for your injury, as well as the medical documentation, strengthens your case. If you've been injured, it's imperative that you contact us immediately. Our attorneys can guide you through the process of getting the right treatment for your injuries and even help you find the right doctors. Oftentimes, medical care can be a really simple process that gets you back on your feet quickly, but we also want to make sure a more serious injury isn't hiding beneath the surface. Reach out to us now so we can guide you on the path to full recovery and help you get compensation for your pain and suffering. So how much is your car accident case worth? This is a great question, and one that's almost always asked by our clients. The amount of compensation you'll get from a car accident depends on several factors, including the severity of your injuries, the extent of the damages, the loss of income and future income, insurance coverage, and the circumstances surrounding the accident. If the accident resulted in serious injuries, such as broken bones, long-term treatment, or even permanent disability, the compensation would skyrocket. It's important to gather as much evidence as possible to build a compelling case and accurately determine the value of the claim. This is something you will need an expert team to help you with and may include eyewitness statements, CCTV footage, dashcam footage, police reports, medical records, and other documentation. The compensation depends on the specific circumstances of each case and the experience of your legal team. It's imperative you consult a qualified attorney who can help you navigate the legal process and maximize your recovery amount. So what I want you to do is click the link below and either call us directly or fill out the 15-second survey form. Our legal intake department will connect with you and get you working with a top auto accident attorney. Time is important. The longer you wait, the more your case value could shrink. Act now before your ability to make a claim completely disappears.
Shout out to my man Fazion, man. Now, me knowing Fazion, that nigga has the worst attitude in the world. And I'm not itching on him, but I believe everything that woman just said, that every word was a curse word. You stupid. You better. I believe everything that she said. That nigga cannot control his anger for nothing. I'm telling you. Only reason he controlling his anger right now is because that goddamn cop is sitting behind him. That nigga has the worst attitude in the world, my nigga. Like, I swear on everything. That's my guy. And I just, oh man. Like, I believe it. Like, I never seen this nigga so quiet in my life. My man, bigWorm. So which is, you know, it's kind of sad. You know, it's not even really an assault case. Well, I guess
I told you I don't need these anymore. I have Sling. This critical time calls for the critical news coverage that Sling provides.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
The most important news at the best price. Sling lets you do that.
it'll be assault. Let's see what they charging him with. Like, what was his charges? Prosecutors charged Love with felony assault with a deadly weapon, with an enhancement to the charge due to great bodily injury to the alleged victim. Let's see. Actor Fazion Love appeared before a San Diego County judge on Tuesday, roughly 7 months after the San Diego police say he ripped a credit card reader off his mount and threw it at a hotel clerk. Yeah, he had to take a doodle. That nigga, he probably had to doodle bad. Hitting the left side of her head and breaking her glasses. The famous actor and comedian is well known for his roles in the hit movies like Elf, The Replacements, and Couples Retreat, and Friday. A warrant was put out for his arrest in October after he was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, a felony. Investigators say he attacked the receptionist after he was told the hotel had no vacancies, despite using a third-party hotel booking app. He pleaded not guilty on Tuesday. The San Diego County District's Attorney Office said he was released after the hearing. Oh, that's good. At least he ain't locked up for it. He's scheduled to be back in court in April, and that's a long time from now. They said he faces a maximum of 7 years in prison if convicted. I doubt he gets 7 years for that. NBC7 said they reached out to Fazion Love through his Instagram page to give him a chance to respond to the charge he faces. His only response was, San Diego, the finest city in America. It's good to come home and you feel you still belong. On Tuesday, Love posted a picture of the outside of a San Diego courtroom. In August, Love posted a message on his Instagram account slamming the hotel booking app. My brother Fazion, bigWorm. That nigga, his attitude, boy. I know he was cursing up a storm too, because that is him, boy. That is him. That is him. Well, hopefully, you know, he don't get 7 years. I think 7 years would be a lot. Hopefully they give him an offer to plead guilty to something lesser than a felony assault and give him a fine and some probation or something like that. But knowing this nigga and his stubborn ass, he's gonna fight it all the way. And if he do, and he blow, bigWorm might be getting locked up, brother. But we gonna wish him the best. You know what I mean? Because my man like to eat, and that jail food ain't gonna do him no good. He'll be in there cursing up.
Losing to last week's leftovers. Can't escape the doom scroll. Laundry, fighting dirty. Bring the juice, oof.
Bring the juice.
Time to bring the juice.
When every day feels like Monday, Minute Maid, bring the juice.
Reporting live from Rappers Club in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba. Well, Fazion Love has a subliminal message for those that have been paying attention to his now civil lawsuit. According to local San Diego news, prosecutors have charged Love with felony assault with a deadly weapon. The charge has been enhanced due to bodily injury of the alleged victim. Love has since responded not guilty. That same source also reports the alleged victim took to the stand earlier this week to testify that Love became irate after he was told the hotel had no vacancy, even though he used a third-party hotel booking app. She and her co-workers could not calm him down. Now, in response, Love has taken to Instagram to share a video of himself as a San Diego County Sheriff bus passes by. Love would directly ask for help from DJ Pooh and Ice Cube, who of course were the writers of the original Friday film. To them, he would say,
Except the phone call. DJ Pooh, Q, come get me.
Now, his Instagram caption would read, "Come get bigWorm out." Of course, this is in reference to Love's character, bigWorm, from the Friday film, alluding to the recent news of a judge deciding there was enough evidence to move a felony case forward in court. Love has also been accused of throwing a credit card. Love has been accused of throwing a credit card reader at the hotel clerk, which hit her on the side of her head. The judge's decision to move forward comes after nearly a full day of testimony during a preliminary hearing. In the original report about his lawsuit, it would read, Mr. Love was extremely upset. It was 0 to 100 real quick. He was repeatedly asking if we knew who he was. I then proceeded to say that was not enough. Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it in my direction. Now, she would go on to explain she went to the hospital a couple hours after and claimed she suffered a concussion, as well as lingering health problems, including a sensitivity to light. Now, after hearing this, Love's attorney, Mark Kligman, would point out the differences between her testimony and what she told 911 operators and responding police officers last August when the incident took place, which was the severity of her injuries. His claim is his defendant, Love, threw the credit card reader in between two co-workers, not directly at the woman. In addition, the two co-workers who attempted to defuse the situation along with the alleged victim stated they witnessed the attack. Here, Kligman would play back and reference body camera footage from the officers who responded that night to find out if both co-workers actually saw the card reader hit the woman or only heard the sound of it hitting the wall. One of them would admit they actually didn't see her get hit. What should give the court pause is in the insufficiency of the evidence and credibility of the witnesses. I think there's quite a bit of motivation for her to make this up, to exaggerate. Now, NBC7 San Diego would also report Kligman insinuating the alleged victim could be motivated by more than justice, as she filed a civil lawsuit against Love, seeking money for her medical bills, in addition to the physical and emotional pain suffered. As she filed a civil lawsuit against Love, seeking money, unfortunately for Love, as a result of all the evidence, the judge has now decided there is enough for probable cause and set the court trial date for January 2026. Love faces up to 7 years in prison if convicted. So what do you guys think about this new upcoming trial for Fazion Love? And what's your thoughts about his reaction? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Plus, stay up to date for the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. And if you enjoy content like this, check out hypersclub.com right now to get a membership, to watch full interviews and more original content. And if you have a story you think we should cover, send us a message now at hyperalerts.com. Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba.
It's the best time to get into the career of your dreams and be a healthcare professional. We are ATI College, where you can become ultrasound technician in only 18 months. The annual mean wage for a diagnostic medical sonographer in California is $109,350. The program also includes an externship program performed at hospitals and clinics around the area. Financial aid is available for those who qualified. Contact us now. ATI College.
Complex AI workloads slowing you down? Here's why. These workloads won't run in just any data center. They need AI-ready infrastructure. That means access to high-density power, advanced cooling, and AI-ready infrastructure that scales with you. Access the latest hardware, tuned to your specific workload requirements. Connect to AI ecosystems and leverage multi-cloud networking for fast, secure data transfers. Keep your AI workloads running smoothly with flexible AI-ready infrastructure.
bigWorm, you feel me? What's up with it, y'all? We back with another one. You know, San Diego judge greenlights criminal trial against Friday actor bigWorm, Fazion Love, and I guess he did a couple of things, and man, he kind of got away with it for a while, but I guess they gonna and turn up the fire on him and file charges against him. So let's get into the video, you know, without further ado.
A San Diego County judge ruled today that there is enough evidence to move forward with a criminal trial for a well-known comedic actor. Fazion Love is charged with felony assault.
Look at bigWorm sitting there. He got big now. He got bigger than what he was, but this is messed up that he's in these terrible times of this happening. But let's find out what happening.
The actor is accused of ripping a credit card reader off a hotel lobby check-in desk last August and throwing it at a clerk. That woman says she suffered a concussion. Prosecutors say Love was angry after a booking he made through a third-party app could not be honored. The hotel clerk does not want to be identified, but she described the incident on the witness stand today during the preliminary hearing.
Wow.
Mr. Love again was just going off on repeatedly cussing them out. Every other word was a cuss word, and it was getting louder. I then proceeded to say, okay, that's enough. And Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it at my direction.
Love's defense attorney says that the clerk told police the night of the incident that Love threw the credit card reader between her and another coworker, not directly at the woman. Love pleaded not guilty to the charges. A trial date has now been set for January.
Now look, now think about this though, right? This is the crazy thing about that whole situation. She said, because at first they basically said that she suffered a concussion. That's what it was saying. So this kind of lets you know, like when you a prominent figure, an actor, a comedian, a rapper, a singer, it doesn't matter. If you do something like this, people are going to go after you because they want money. Okay, it's not even about what you did, because if he threw it in between y'all, how could you have got a concussion? So basically, there's something more going on to the story, because if he didn't hit you or none of that, then how they gonna press criminal charges against him? Okay, yeah, you can destroy property, that is different, but that's not her property. That's the property of the hotel. So the hotel will have to actually press charges. Like, this is crazy, bro. But all I'm saying is, if you are a prominent figure, you got to watch what you do. because people are going to try to come after you for little things, for things that if somebody else did, they wouldn't even do nothing. Like if this would have been like me, somebody, I'm not saying I'm a nobody, but I'm a nobody. I don't have fazion money. If this would have been me, she wouldn't have been sitting on the stand doing anything. They would just let it go. They would have barred me from the hotel and they would have been like, never come back. But they're pursuing charges because once they recognized and they knew who he was, oh yeah, I'm coming at you. Now I can get paid. You feel me? My job is not paying me enough. So therefore, I can get some money out of you for what you did, which is crazy, bro. That's just wild. But watch what I say. Now I guarantee you that lady is going to file a lawsuit against him. If not the other one that she said they split up and it went between them. But they were saying she suffered a concussion. Understand how come they didn't play that and say that, and she say out of her own mouth that the thing had actually hit her or she fell or anything like that. They didn't show that because it probably didn't happen. But I'm just saying, if you're a prominent actor, if you're a prominent person, if you're out there in society right now, be careful. Don't let your anger get the best of you. Because if you do, and you do it around people and somebody gets hurt, they're coming after you. They're going to make you look like a bad person. They're going to do all these things, which I'm still going like, okay, we get mad about stuff like, if we get the wrong food at a restaurant, if our bill is higher than what it's supposed to be, if they don't go by the proceedings that we went through an app that said that booked the hotel, and you're going to tell me you're not going to go by this, but yet you letting me book the hotel through the app. Hold on, there is something wrong. So there's something more to the story. But still, though, him being fazion love and having the money that he does, he should just went on and paid for it and dealt with it later. Let one of his lawyers or whoever handle it and go back and try to get that little money back. But to go this far, bro, you tripping. Come on now, you know better. You know what they gonna, that they gonna make you an example. That's just how it is. But on that note, let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you like the video, hit the like button. And on that note, I'm out of here.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. In an attempt to quell the MAGA base uproar over the Trump administration's refusal to release the files of the dead serial sex abuser Jeffrey Epstein, President Donald Trump's Deputy Attorney General, who is Trump's former private lawyer, just finished 2 days, Thursday and Friday, of meetings with the convicted felon Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year sentence for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse young girls. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Maxwell met for 9 hours at the federal courthouse in Tallahassee, Florida. This is Maxwell's attorney, David Marcus.
Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped. She never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
The meetings with Ghislaine Maxwell at a federal courthouse in Tallahassee come as President Trump faces growing bipartisan pressure to release the government's files on Jeffrey Epstein, longtime friend of Donald Trump. On Friday, Trump was questioned if he considered pardoning Maxwell.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's cooperating?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do, but it's something I have not thought about.
One of the first accusers of Jeffrey Epstein says she warned the FBI and the New York Police Department to look into his relationship with Donald Trump as early as 1996. Maria Farmer is now suing the government, which she said failed to protect victims. In a new interview with the New York Times, Maria Farmer said her only sense of justice has come from the conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted sex trafficking accomplice. Maria Farmer also spoke on MSNBC with Jen Psaki about Ghislaine Maxwell.
I've never met a more predatory, terrifying human being in my entire life, and neither had Virginia Giuffre, and neither has Annie, or Anushka, or many girls like Shantae Davies. There's hundreds of us that were preyed upon by Ghislaine Maxwell. She's a very dangerous person, and she threatened my life on many occasions. I've had to move and be in hiding because of this predatory child predator and just victim predator. So it's completely unacceptable for anyone to call her a victim. The woman is not a victim, she's a victimizer.
So that's Maria Farmer, who has alleged that both Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein abused her and her sister, Annie Farmer, who has testified about how Ghislaine Maxwell not only groomed and recruited her, but also took part in her abuse. Annie Farmer spoke on ABC News.
She was the one who asked me to undress. She was the one who exposed my chest. She's the one who touched me. And I think that that was not unusual. I mean, that was something that came out in her trial and one of the things that she was found guilty of. The Department of Justice is clear on that she herself is a sexual predator who has participated in this abuse.
For more, we're joined by Vicky Ward, longtime investigative journalist, host, and co-producer of the series Chasing Ghislaine, the untold story of the woman in Epstein's shadow. It's a podcast series. It's a TV series. Vicky Ward profiled Jeffrey Epstein for Vanity Fair in 2003. Welcome back to Democracy Now!, Vicky. Let's go back to 2003. Before we talk about this Deputy Attorney General meeting, the fact that you tried to get Maria and Annie's story out so many years ago, you would have broken this story. But you talk about how the editor-in-chief of Vanity Fair stopped you from doing this, and it came out to be just a kind of profile of Jeffrey Epstein.
That's right, Amy, and thank you for having me. Yeah, I was assigned to write about Jeffrey Epstein, who was an enigma back then. He was not someone whose name was in the newspapers, except for the fact that he popped up in the fall of 2002 as having flown Bill Clinton on his plane to Africa. And on the back of that, I was assigned to go out and find who this kind of Gatsby-like figure was, who lived in the biggest private townhouse in New York, who had an island, a ranch in New Mexico. Where had his money come from? And along the way, I discovered that he had a reputation for having a lot of young women around him. This was in addition to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was sort of like a girl Friday. Her role became sort of very nebulous. And I did encounter the two Farmer sisters who told me their harrowing stories. They went on the record, which was a very brave thing to do, given, as you heard Maria Farmer just there saying that, she felt they were coming after her for a lot of her life. It was a difficult time for me. I was on a high-risk pregnancy. So once I'd handed the piece in, I went on bed rest before I ultimately went into labor. Jeffrey Epstein was threatening me and telling me he was going to find out where I was giving birth, and he was going to have a witch doctor place a curse on my unborn children if he didn't like this piece. He was clearly furious about the fact that I had spoken to the Farmer sisters. That more than anything else about what I'd uncovered enraged him. And when I was at home on bed rest, I heard from a fact checker at the magazine who emailed me that he was in the Vanity Fair offices meeting with the editor-in-chief in person. I knew that the magazine was still waiting for photographs. Yes. And the next thing that I knew was, when I saw a final galley of the piece that was already on its way to appear in the published version of the magazine, the Farmer sisters' allegations had been removed. And I will stress, I didn't obviously at the time have any idea of the scale of this awful sort of pyramid scheme that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell had going on with underage girls. But I did have the Farmer Sisters, and obviously it was appalling because they had gone on record. So Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were aware of what they had said, and it was a horrendous situation.
And so Jeffrey Epstein, there was this deal that ultimately would take down Alex Acosta once he became Secretary of Labor, because he was the U.S. attorney in Florida that cut this sweetheart deal that meant Jeffrey Epstein could serve 13 months in a Palm Beach jail, leaving every day for about 10 hours, in which the allegations are he abused one young woman after another. 13 months, then he was out, and it would take until 2019 for the federal charges to be brought in New York. Now, that's a lot to get in here, but these victims, let's talk about how many you believe there have been. I mean, you have one victim after another saying they were victimized, and then Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein would say, can you go get others? One young woman said she can't live with herself. She recruited like 40 kids in her high school, girls, often, you know, poor, needing money. They would be paid something like $200. Another said 60. She recruited 60 friends. Are we talking upwards of 1,000 people, children or young women, who were abused or raped by Jeffrey Epstein with the help of Ghislaine Maxwell?
Well, Amy, I mean, that's actually a figure I think Pam Bondi, you know, I think she said 1,000. I mean, one of the things that became very, very clear when, you know, I sat through Ghislaine Maxwell's 6-week trial was the sort of the cleverness as well as the sickness of the manipulation that went on inside Jeffrey Epstein's household, beginning, if you like, with Ghislaine Maxwell, this very polished, sophisticated, Oxford-educated woman who spoke many languages, who knew presidents and heads of state all around the world. Once she had got these much more vulnerable young women inside that house, sort of effectively normalizing for them the incredible abuse that went on, you know, they were then incentivized to turn around and go and get, as you say, these other children. And it became, I mean, you know, one of the things that became very clear in her trial was the sickness, but also the scale of this web. And you know, one of the reasons that you sort of only had 4 victims come and testify at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial was that there were complications with other stories because, you know, Virginia Roberts, for example, who was, you know, in a way, the single victim whose civil litigation against Ghislaine Maxwell ultimately caused this whole sort of house of cards to come tumbling down, and Jeffrey Epstein finally to face the music in 2019. You know, Virginia Roberts' story is a complicated one because she then was accused of going out to recruit other girls. So it's a very complicated, horrible story.
Virginia Roberts, you're talking about Virginia Giuffre, who was an outspoken survivor and ultimately sued Prince Andrew, unsettled for some undisclosed amount, and apparently died by suicide, though it's not clear she died by suicide. It's not clear Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide, but she just recently died in Australia at the age of 41.
Yes.
I want to get to President Trump. What his connection is to this, and who are the people who you feel have not been properly investigated. And this possibility, you heard Trump himself saying not clear whether she would be pardoned or her sentence commuted.
Right. And I also think, you know, it's worth thinking about the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, is a citizen of many countries. You know, another option is, you know, whether or not she would be sent back to Europe or to England, you know, where there may be a different view of her, given her background.
Given her background, meaning that she's the daughter of Robert Maxwell.
Well, she comes, yeah, exactly. She comes from a family that's very prominent socially in England, that once held great power and great wealth. And, you know, it's a different culture, different society. I mean, that I think would be an option.
He was, I mean, for people to understand, he was sort of the competitor with Rupert Murdoch, a media mogul, who she was very close to, and died mysteriously at sea, his body overboard.
That's right. But he was also a politician. He was a massive worldwide publisher who had enormous influence all around the world. As you say, he died in very strange circumstances. He's given a sort of hero's burial in Israel at the Mount of Olives. When he died, it emerged that he had basically robbed the pensions of his employees at this big media group. Two of his sons went on trial but were acquitted for that. But this is a story that is this is a family rather that is very high profile in England and in Europe. You asked, Amy, though, about the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. You know, they were friends. They hung out with each other. These were two guys, you know, between Donald Trump's marriages, who were single and who both hung out with models. Jeffrey Epstein's main financial benefactor, Leslie Wexner, was the owner of Victoria's Secret, the most sort of prominent, you know, modeling organization in the world. We know, particularly last week, the Wall Street Journal reported that for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, the Journal claimed, Trump denies this, it says it wasn't, you know, him, that, you know, Donald Trump sent him a sort of racy, congratulatory message alluding to Jeffrey Epstein's private life. So Donald Trump was, you know, clearly, we do know, was aware of Jeffrey Epstein's predilection for women and you know, his sort of social life. They did fall out. You know, interestingly, Donald Trump, who, you know, is very articulate about a lot of subjects, has not ever really explained why. He has said to, you know, campaign operatives around him, who did say back in 2014, when Virginia Roberts first sort of surfaced with her public claims about Epstein, that he had severed ties with him when Epstein had come after a daughter of a member of Mar-a-Lago. There is also reportedly a dispute, there was a dispute between the two men over a piece of real estate near Palm Beach that both men wanted, and that Donald Trump ultimately ended up getting at a bankruptcy auction and then flipped at a massive profit a couple of years later. But he's never actually talked about that in public. He has just said, you know, he's just distanced himself.
We have 10
Jeffrey
seconds, but we're going to continue with a post show with you, because it's really critical to talk about what are these files the MAGA base and many Democrats and Republicans have called for releasing. Vicky Ward, longtime investigative journalist, host of the series Chasing Ghislaine. Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We spend the rest of the hour with award-winning journalist and author Naomi Klein.
Okay, I don't even know how that got on there, y'all, but yeah, we gonna end it right there. Fazion Love, man, crazy situation. He didn't throw it really at her head. He threw it directly at the wall between her and the other clerk. Of course, they trying to get him and put more sugar on more sugar on the situation. Hopefully he can beat the case, and we're gonna be on to the next one, man. Peace.